Okay, so it's really windy out there this morning. We've got some pretty gusty south winds. Again, it's a warm day. We've had just unusually warm weather here in the early part of November, pretty much across the country. With that said, I don't have a whole lot of good options this morning, but I feel pretty good about this option where Casey and I went last night and we kind of got up on the windmill and looked around, glassed a big chunk of public land, and that's what we're going to do again tonight. We saw a big buck heading towards public land, kind of on the opposite side of this public land, way over there. And so with that and the other bucks that we saw, we couldn't really get a good solid ID on how big those bucks were, if they were shooters or mature deer or whatever. But there's bucks around and there's deer around. So I think with that, and then the information that I got in middle October as well when I was up here, I think I can feel pretty confident about going in here and, you know, scoping up some kind of a good shooter buck, hopefully getting them to bed in some of this kind of grassland habitat, and maybe putting a stalk on them with the decoy here in the middle of the day. So that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be pretty windy, might be some wind noise, so I'm going to try to keep talking to a minimal and just show you some deer footage and what's going on around here, and then hopefully we'll get a big buck down in the middle of the day.
Day one spot over here with me and the rats. It's a little bit warm, a little bit windy, kind of the same story as yesterday, but it's November 8th. The deer should be doing some ruddy things. So all we need is just more time on stand, and we're gonna see a big buck. This camera over here showed some giants on camera, but they were all at nighttime. But it stopped taking pictures about a week ago. And what I'm hoping is as the rut is pushed on, those bucks are moving more and more towards daylight. And if we can get some does in here on them gold nuggets, you know, that ethanol fuel, them corn pops, them deer will come in here smelling those does, and I'm gonna shoot a nice buck today. Spotted what looks to be like a really good buck. I think he's over a mile away. Big chunk of public here. And there's a low spot coming out of an ag field down there. I think he's come out of that, which is where I spotted a good shooter buck a couple weeks ago. And I think that he has worked up into some pretty tall, like tumbleweed type stuff. But man, there are not even any skyline like landmarks over there. So I'm a little bit worried that I don't have him marked exactly correct, but I spent a half hour trying to mark him basically. I have a tree that's marked that's like 2.5 miles over there. Best I can tell on a straight line to that tree, he's about 100 yards south of there, but I can't tell you exactly east and west where he's at really either. There's just hardly any landmarks. It's just grass, you know. There's a couple of like darker patches of tumbleweeds and that kind of thing. So I've tried my best. What I'm going to do now is probably spend a couple more minutes making sure he doesn't move here in a little bit. I'm going to go back, get a snack, pick up KC, and we'll probably make an attempt on this buck if I had to guess. It may not be conclusive enough to actually make an attempt, so I'm going to just speak with him and see what he thinks about it. But anyway, I think he's having kind of a slow morning. I don't know for sure, but I'm about to text him and see what's going on. And I'm going to go get in the truck here in a little bit.
Getting in late. KC kind of forgot a piece of equipment. It's called a saddle. And I ended up having to turn around and go back and get that to him. But that's okay, because that's what you do, man, when your friend hadn't shot a deer and you've shot a couple this year. And so that's just what you do. So I got him a saddle. And now I'm heading in on a piece of permission that I've hunted before. And I'm trying to find the road here. Running late, but that's okay. I think with this hot day, that'll give me a chance to get in without seeing too many deer. But I did just see a gigantic 8-point driving in on these ranch roads with big brows. And so he's nowhere near where I'll be tonight probably, but it's just cool that there's big deer on the property running around in the rut. So who knows what's going to happen when I get in there and I crest over that hill to get in this location. I got some corn in there and stuff. There could be deer in there for sure, but if there is, I'll just have to sneak in and shoot one like an Indian. Otherwise, if they're not in there, I'm just going to set up and kill one more like a tree ninja.
Have a buck out cruising. He's a little spiky, but it's something. It's before 5 p.m. on a hot day. Windy as all get out. But there's a deer in the field, and that makes me feel good. Makes me wonder if our trail camera data is a little skewed because deer are just moving down that trail and not coming over here and eating. It is real hard to just sit around here and not feel like you're wasting your time. It's nuts that Texas was better than this. I just feel like probability is going to be on my side if I just sit here for a long time because we know big bucks are around. Man, it is so hard to not just scheme and try to figure out a better way to do this. I don't know. I'm kind of chapped about Kansas right now. But it can all change at any time. One deer's all you need. I just hope I see him.
So, it's been a relatively, maybe even extremely uninspiring day for me. You could probably tell if you watch me or know my voice from the podcast that feeling a little under the weather. I don't know what the deal is, but I had a fever last night and just I didn't want to get up and go this morning. I felt pretty miserable. had chills and sweated like crazy last night. And I've kind of like off and on feel like I've had a fever today. So like right now I'm pretty hot. But anyway, I'm heading into a stand because it is November 9th. It's a pretty good day to be in the woods. And I don't feel just absolutely like flu or nothing. So I'm going to get in there and get in a stand. Sit still for a little while this afternoon, even though it is 78 degrees here in Kansas today. Maybe something will feel the inspiration to come eat some corn, or even just walk by me and check see if does are eating corn, and give me a shot at hopefully like 18 yards, because those are the kind of shots I like. So if that does happen, I'm going to celebrate, even though my head hurts and everything else. If not, I'm still going to celebrate tonight, because I'm having vacation in November. I mean, what could be better? Let's rock.
We wait around all year for stuff like this. This is a mid-rut cold front. It's like blue sky over there, but blue clouds, got that cold look. I ain't never been more happy to put on more clothes in my life. Let's get it, baby. I got 35 minutes left of this hunt. We're gonna kill a big buck.
Well, as you can tell, Kansas was way tougher in early November than what it should have been. Tyler saw a few bucks. I hardly even saw any deer. And to top it off, we both ended up getting pretty sick, especially Tyler. He had fever and chills and was a big help to me, actually helped me get to my stand and stuff. But we also got a call from home, and our wives were sick. So we all decided to pull the plug, come home a little bit early, and everyone ended up having corona. We were blessed that no one was super sick, but still just very inconvenient as whitetail hunters, believe me. Kansas isn't over. We had another really awesome trip up there, and things get wild. That's all I'm gonna say. Big thanks to OnX, by the way, for helping us find new pieces of public land to hunt. That was a big part of the next video. If you haven't yet, be sure and subscribe below. That helps us out a ton, guys. We really appreciate that. And remember, this is your element. Live in it.